Today is Tuesday, April 28th. Welcome to Big Book Daily. My name is Rob. I am an alcoholic. It is a thrill, honor, and joy to be here with you today as we journey through the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous and the 12 steps and 12 traditions. Today out of the Big Book, we are beginning a new chapter, Chapter 8, Two Wives. We'll be reading page 104. And as a matter of fact, we are well ahead. I forgot that there's a couple of just gaps, a couple of blank pages between the 12 steps and the 12 traditions. So there will be no reading in the 12 and 12 today. However, we do have a special guest recovery book. Since we're talking about two wives in the big book, I figured I'd read a section out of One Day at a Time in Al-Anon for April 28th. And of course, we'll read the 24 hours a day and daily reflection. So with that, I hope y'all are doing well this morning, my friends. Life is good over here. We've been given another set of 24 hours, and I've even got my little buddy, Cookie here, my dog. She's a Shorkie, and I call her Cookie the Wookie because she definitely looks like a miniature Chewbacca. In a good way. He's one of my favorite characters. But with that, let's go ahead. Oh, she's digging a china here. Cookie, stop that. She might be a little bit noisier along with the cats. But anyway, let's go ahead and get to the good stuff. All right, my friends. So now that we're embarking on a new chapter, Chapter 8, Two Wives, we are hearing from the wives of the first group of alcoholics and their wisdom as they share their experience during that step in time. It's pretty fascinating that a lot of the things that they said back then still apply today. And this is before Al-Anon existed. So great stuff here. So we're on page 104. Chapter 8, Two Wives. With few exceptions, our book thus far has spoken of men. But what we have said applies quite as much to women. Our activities in behalf of women who drink are on the increase. There is every evidence that women regain their health as readily as men if they try our suggestions. But for every man who drinks, others are involved. The wife who trembles in fear of the next debauch. The mother and father who see their son wasting away. Among us are wives, relatives, and friends whose problem has been solved, as well as some who have not yet found a happy solution. We want the wives of Alcoholics Anonymous to address the wives of men who drink too much. What they say will apply to nearly everyone bound by ties of blood or affection to an alcoholic. As wives of Alcoholics Anonymous, we would like you to feel that we understand as perhaps you can. We want to analyze mistakes that we have made. We want to leave you with a feeling that no situation is too difficult and no unhappiness too great to be overcome. We have traveled a rocky road. There's no mistake about that. We have had long rendezvous with hurt pride, frustration, self-pity, misunderstanding, and fear. These are not pleasant companions. We have been driven to maudlin sympathy, to bitter resentment. Some of us veered off from extreme to extreme, ever hoping that one day our loved ones would be themselves once more. All right, my friends. So now we're on the One Day at a Time in Al-Anon, and I am a big believer in Al-Anon. I love the Courage to Change book, and this one I picked up at a thrift store not too long ago. I've been itching to read it on the show, and even thinking about once we get through the big book and everything. For those of you who've been listening for a while, last year we went from July 1st to December 31st, reading the second half of the 24 hours a day and the daily reflection. So by the time we get to July 1st of this year, we'll have read through the entire devotionals of those books. So I'm thinking about changing it up after that, and this one might be one of the books that we read. We'll see. But anyway, we are on April 28th, One Day at a Time in Al-Anon. Have I the courage to face up to the problems that alcoholism has brought into my life? Can I believe that my situation is not really hopeless? that I am capable of improving it? Can I keep myself cheerful when everything seems to be leading me to despair? The answers could be yes, if I refuse to accept the alcoholic's responsibilities and leave them to him, regardless of the consequences. I could overcome my hopelessness by opening my eyes to the troubles other people live with, so often much worse than mine. I could bring myself to a brighter view of life if I weren't always feeling sorry for myself. Despair is often a mask for self-pity. Today's reminder: 3 things I will practice every day from now on. 1, I will stop being a crutch for the alcoholic. 2, I will not let myself concentrate on the distressing features of my present existence, but will look for the good things in it. 3, I will remind myself that self-respect can relieve me of my need for pity, my own and others. In quietness and in confidence shall be our strength. Book of Common Prayer. "24 hours a day, April 28th. AA thought for the day. We're so glad to be free from liquor that we do something about it. We get into action. We come to meetings regularly. We go out and try to help other alcoholics. We pass on the good news whenever we get a chance. In a spirit of thankfulness to God, we get into action. The AA program's simple. Submit yourself to God, find release from liquor, and get into action. Do these things and keep doing them, and you're all set for the rest of your life. Have I gotten into action? Meditation for the day. God's eternal quest must be tracking down of souls. You should join him in his quest. Through briars, through wastes, through glades and up mountain heights, down into valleys. God leads you, but ever with his leadership goes your helping hand. It is glorious to follow where the leader goes. You are seeking lost sheep. You are bringing the good news into places where it has not yet been known before. You may not know which soul you will help, but you can leave all results to God. Just go with him in his eternal quest for souls. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may follow God in his eternal quest for souls. I pray that I may offer God my helping hand. Daily Reflection, April 28th. 2 magnificent standards. All AA progress can be reckoned in terms of just 2 words: humility and responsibility. Our whole spiritual development can be accurately measured by our degree of adherence to these magnificent standards. As Bill sees it, page 271. To acknowledge and respect the views, accomplishments, and prerogatives of others, and accept being wrong shows me the way of humility. To practice the principles of AA in all my affairs guides me to be responsible. Honoring these precepts gives credence to Tradition 4 and to all other traditions of the fellowship. Alcoholics Anonymous has evolved a philosophy of life full of valid motivations, rich in highly relevant principles and ethical values. A view of life which can be extended beyond the confines of the alcoholic population. To honor these precepts, I need only pray and to care for my fellow man as if each one were my brother. All right, my friends, that concludes today's reading. And I love that. And I love the takeaways in the Al-Anon reading today. It says here, today's reminder, 3 things I will practice every day from now on. 1, I will stop being a crutch for the alcoholic. 2, I will not let myself concentrate on the distressing features of my present existence, but will look for the good things in it. even the darkest parts of my life, my higher power uses that for good. I mean, think about our story, our experience, strength, and hope. In the storm of our alcoholism, we think we're going through hell, and in a way we are. Even the horrible things that happened, good things have come from it. I'd say the strongest lessons I've ever learned were from my biggest mistakes. And I give all glory to my higher power for that. And then finally, number 3, I'll remind myself that self-respect can relieve me of the need for pity, my own and others. Going back to looking for the good. If we stop and zoom out and look at the big picture of life today, I promise you there's something good that you'll find. Remember, yesterday we were talking about gratitude in action. Gratitude can be a verb. Maybe not grammatically, but we'll put it into practice, right? And speaking of wives, I am really grateful for my wife. In my early recovery, well, let me back up. In my alcoholism, my wife was always kind of worried about me. She knew it was in my family, and she knew that when I drank, just what happened for me when I drank was just different from what happened to her when she drank. She could have one and just like, okay, I'm good. Take a nap. Me, on the other hand, oh man, I'm just getting started. Here we go. But I was very neglectful when I was drinking. I didn't know that. I mean, I was that roaring tornado, not really knowing the damage I was doing until after the fact. But it got to the point where my life was so unmanageable that I made some terrible decisions while drinking that really affected our marriage, And I'm not proud of that. I'm very, very much, it hurt me. It still hurts me to know that I hurt the people I love the most and the people that love me. And I can't tell you how many times I told my wife, I'm done. I'm not drinking anymore. This is it. And somehow I would find a way to bring it back into my life. And I know deep down she probably thought, I can't believe, here he goes again. I can't believe this. But on the other side of it, when I finally admitted I was powerless over alcohol and that my life was unmanageable, when I finally attended the fellowships and I started working the steps, my wife, she could have just blamed me for everything, which she had plenty of ammo to do it. She could have used my past as a club over my head. But you know what she did? She supported me. She would remind me, hey, don't you need to go to a meeting tonight? Maybe if I was being grumpy or something, I don't know. But another thing she did is she looked within herself. And we ended up doing some Bible studies together. I would tell her some things I was learning in AA. And she started to grow herself. So we grew together individually. And we grew together as a married couple. And I realized, I started to look at her from a different light. And I thought to myself, my high school sweetheart, man, I've never had another girlfriend in my life. It's like I hit the lottery with the first ticket I've ever bought. And I think to myself, man, I wonder if that was a God thing. And I'll never forget, and I've said this many times, but to go from my rock bottom, seeing my wife in despair, not believing me in the kitchen when she caught me in all my lies, when I was still drinking. To go from that, fast forward a year, she's presenting me with my 1-year medallion in front of my home group. She looks me in the eyes in front of the group and says she's proud of me. I owe a big chunk of my sobriety to my wife. I really do. She's my best friend. And honestly, she's an angel in my life. And she's hot too. But anyway, I hope you all have a great day today. If you are sober, I hope you know that you're a miracle. And those who love you are very proud of you. And you have a unique superpower to help the next suffering alcoholic. And if you are not sober, I want you to know that you're a miracle as well. That you have great worth and value, and your story's not done yet. The best chapters are yet to be written. And I just pray that you get the help that you need today. And as always, my friends, I don't speak on behalf of AA, Al-Anon, NA, any other sect or denomination. I am just a joyful drunk in this lifeboat of recovery, honored to be here. And if we're given another set of 24 hours, I sincerely look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow.